Bob Arum, brought to you this evening by Boost Mobile, Money is Power, by AutoZone, Get in the Zone, and by Creed 3, starring Michael B. Jordan, only in theaters March 3rd. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds for the WBO Intercontinental Junior Welterweight title. Our judges at ringside, Tim Cheatham, Lisa Giampa, and Esther Lopez. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Wes Melton. Introducing first, out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 138.7 pounds, wearing multicolored trunks. His record, 29 victories, 4 defeats, 1 draw. 14 of those victories coming by way of knockout. He is the former junior lightweight champion of the world. He is the former lightweight champion of the world from Sidra, Puerto Rico. Jose Sniper Pedraza! Introducing out of the red corner. He weighed in at 139.2 pounds, wearing white trunks with black trim. His record, perfect. 27 victories, no defeats. 10 of those victories coming by way of knockout. He is the WBO #4 junior welterweight contender. He is the reigning WBO Intercontinental Junior Welterweight champion from South El Monte, California, Arnold Barboza Jr.
Big crowd here at Desert Diamond Arena. Very attractive co-feature before we have our World Championship fight. Pedraza, Barboza.
The WBO Intercontinental Junior Welterweight Championship. We went over the rules in the dressing room. These trunks are pretty high. I'm going to let you work right in here, okay? These trunks are good. You can work here. Obey my commands. Touch them up. Bang at the bell.
Both guys have great respect for what the other possesses. Barboza, we asked him to size up Pedraza at this stage of Pedraza's career at 33 years old, 29 wins in, and having been in against the best and earned world titles. He says he still has a lot left in the tank. Timmy, last time we saw Pedraza, that was the draw against Richard Comey. What do you feel like he has left in the tank?
I still believe he has a lot left in the tank. You know, I think that you get to a certain level in your career, and when you face inferior competition, it boosts you, Tess. That's what it does. It boosts you up. So I'm sure he had a great training camp after his last performance. And for Barboza, I think tonight he's going to look to push back Pedraza. He's going to look to outwork him. In the beginning, you're going to see a high-paced chess match sort of thing going on right now. Guys trying to get their range and adjusting to, you know, feints and things. And then it's going to start to heat up in the second half.
Barboza said he had the best camp he's ever had because of the location up in Big Bear. He said he likes to be isolated and away from everyone. And he had young talent, Abdullah Mason, Elijah Flores, and others that kept him on point and kept him sharp.
He was raving about Mason, Dre. And that's a young prospect who you've had the chance to call some of his fights. But he said to us immediately, he said, wow, did I have to use my legs with him there?
It forces you to think. It forces you to make adjustments every day that you're in the gym with those young guys. And it makes you sharp and gets you prepared for the battle.
Yeah, and I'm getting prepared for that right hand for Pedraza because Barboza's throwing his jab from his hip, and he's bringing it back down.
But I like the movement from Barboza. The slow steps that got him just out of range, and the Pedraza, who's getting long in the tooth, may not want to take that risk to reach because he'll get counted.
Steady work from the jab of Barboza. But it is, to your point, Timmy, coming off the hip. We'll see if a right hand can come over the top from Pedraza as he gets inside for the first time before the break comes from Wes Melton, third man inside the ropes.
It's still early. I mean, it probably won't show itself because if he throws it, then Barboza right now, full strength, he's going to be able to see it and get out of the way. But later in the fight, when you're not being disciplined with your guards, that can happen. Right hand.
The 1-2 from Barboza. Now he goes with the right hand to the left flank of Pedraza's. Pedraza ups the pace with the jab of his own coming off the hip. Three-punch combination from Barboza.
Interesting enough here in his first round.
Work out of there. Work out.
The roles have switched. You see Pedraza now coming forward, being an aggressive fighter and taking more risks, and you see Barboza fighting more off the back foot. I thought it was going to be the opposite.
And in taking that risk and crossing the threshold moments ago, Barboza able to fire off a right uppercut.
Barboza's fighting the perfect first round against Pedraza. He's not allowing Pedraza to land anything. He's establishing his range and how the fight is going to be fought.
Pedraza goes with a right hand to the body. Ooh. Check hook as he came forward that time as we come to the end of round number 1. Pedraza and Arnold Barboza, the undefeated fighter at 140 pounds, who was so excited for this matchup, Trey. He said no hesitation. I jumped right away once they said his name. He said because Pedraza is everything you want to be able to handle. He'll go lefty, he'll go righty. He's got all the world-class experience. You have to put the work in for him.
Well, Barboza knows the assignment, which is I need to make noise to get myself an opportunity to fight for a title. And facing a fighter who may be tough but doesn't have a name serves him no good.
Timmy, in that first round, Barboza was 18 of 47 total punches. Pedraza was 8 of 26.
See, most people don't realize, or most fighters don't realize, that when you're bouncing, you're in that pendulum bouncing, you're bouncing right in front and you get in mid-range, or you get the sneak attack on you. See, like that right there? You're up in the air. You're not set. Your feet, your base is not set. There's nothing that Barboza can do. I mean, nothing that Pedraza can do to avoid it. He needs to slow those feet down, get in a good groove and a good rhythm, moving left and right, and stop bouncing in front.
Pedraza able to touch him with that jab to the body and then came upstairs with the right hand.
But you see his feet slowed down. He wasn't bouncing at the time. He had a good stationary balance when he was landing those shots.
Targets that jab to the body again. Two-punch combination, return fire.
Pedraza slowly having more moments in the second round, getting closer and landing more punches.
See, it's moments like that when you sit out there right at the threshold of mid-range that Pedraza gets hit with the combination right there, bouncing on his toes.
Barboza timing that uppercut again. There it is again, right uppercut from Barboza.
He's timing the movement. You know, that head movement is starting to become repetitive, and he's doing the same head movement over and over, and you get picked to pieces like that by moving your head from out there at distance. Like
right hand behind the jab.
Right there from Barboza.
Right hand lands from Barboza.
Beautiful work. Beautiful boxing from Barboza at the moment.
Barboza's giving up no energy. Just walking around the ring, watching, pushing and prodding with his punches until he sees something good and he takes the shot. Keeping Pedraza at the perfect range for him to land and for Pedraza to get nothing in return.
Three-punch combination.
Good example of that just right there.
10 seconds, break at the bell. Work out of there, work out of there, let him go.
Good start to an important fight at 140 pounds. End of 2.
Give your business an advantage right now with nationwide 5G from T-Mobile for Business. Unlock new insights and efficiency with leading ultra-capacity 5G coverage. T-Mobile for Business has 5G that's ready right now.
Lots of men have trouble performing their best in bed. For some guys, it's issues getting hard. For others, it's finishing too quickly. Either way, Hims can help. At 4hims.com, you can get clinically proven treatments from licensed medical providers, all from the comfort of home. With a 100% online process and free discreet shipping, it's never been easier to get hard, stay hard, and last longer than ever. Get started today with a free online consultation at 4hims.com.
See the league stars shine in the NHL All-Star Game.
The Superstar.
Every single year, the event gets better and better.
The NHL All-Star Game, tomorrow on ABC.
Round 3 of our scheduled 10-round co-feature at 140 pounds before we get to the vacant WBO junior lightweight title fight between Emmanuel Navarrete and Liam Wilson. Liam Wilson, who comes from Australia, his first world title opportunity. And of course, Navarrete attempting to be a 3-division world champion. There have been 9 other Mexican-born fighters and all legends that have done it. Let's check in with Bernardo.
Spoke with Luis Espada, the trainer and stepfather of Jose Pedraza. He told me, look, I want him to come forward while punching. I want him to be first, and I want him to work like a fan. And by that, he means using the angles, use his waist, and when you go out, come out laterally.
Work out of there. Let him go.
You have one guy making all these crazy movements, having all this head movement, and then you got one guy that's making one definitive move and exiting and landing, and that's Pedraza.
Turns him that time. Good angle. And then a lead right.
Pedraza, Barboza is sharp tonight. My goodness, sharp.
Very efficient,
my goodness,
with every movement that he makes. That 2-piece right there took no energy to throw and landed cleanly.
Watch your shoulders in there. Watch
Places
your
the left hand just to touch him to the body moment. Then goes back with the right hand to the body.
It's a good visual of what it means to outbox an opponent without dancing and being on your toes, tiring yourself out early in a fight.
2 punches to the belt line. Barboza showing you a little bit of everything here in round number 3. He's landed 11 body shots so far. Pedraza comes underneath with a right hand to the body.
Good shot from both guys.
Work out of there.
The left hook is the shot that Pedraza should be looking for. That right hand of Barboza is consistently down, even when he throws his jab and also left hook. There's an opening there for a left hook for Pedraza.
Keep him up here. Keep him up.
Gets the warning as that's straight low.
10 seconds. Break it to belt. Work out of there. Work out. Let him go. Time.
Give your business an advantage right now with nationwide 5G from T-Mobile for Business. Unlock new insights and efficiency with leading ultra-capacity 5G coverage. T-Mobile for Business has 5G that's ready right now.
Lots of men have trouble performing their best in bed. For some guys, it's issues getting hard. For others, it's finishing too quickly. Either way, Hims can help. At 4hims.com, you can get clinically proven treatments from licensed medical providers, all from the comfort of home. With a 100% online process and free discreet shipping, it's never been easier to get hard, stay hard, and last longer than ever. Get started today with a free online consultation at 4hims.com.
And here comes Jaylen Brown. Tatum. Good ball fake. One more. Tatum. Oh, he caught one. Punched it on Giannis.
Joe, Tim, and Dre on the call with you ringside. Timmy, the last time we saw Arnold Barboza, it was that unanimous decision win against Danielito Zorrilla, who was previously undefeated. Boxed well that night, but he wasn't as sharp as we're seeing him tonight. And he was coming off a 300-day layoff.
Right on the line.
It wasn't just that. It was also the media, some of the media and the headlines. You know, they were saying that his boxing ability wasn't enough. He needs to do something exciting. He needs to wow the people, and I think he put himself in harm's way and was in between, should I box and be myself, or should I give the fans what they want to see? Well, you only got to be in one of those to realize that that's not always the best way to fight when you have the skills to do otherwise.
And he got rocked late in that fight as well.
Yes, he did.
In the 10th round.
And it didn't have to happen.
Right.
Ooh, beautiful left hook right there for Pedraza. Excuse me, Barboza. I don't know why I keep getting these names mixed up, man. Each guy.
Able to duck out to the left after the 2-punch combination there was Barboza.
What I assume Barboza's doing is setting the table right now, where he's trying to slowly beat Pedraza up. He hasn't landed anything significant, but he's landed shots with an 8-ounce glove on. So Pedraza feels it. And as the fight progresses, you should see him getting closer and closer, throwing heavier and heavier shots as Pedraza wears down, if everything goes according to schedule.
Mark Kriegel, what are you seeing?
Same concern I always have for Pedraza at this weight. He always seems to be the less physically strong, less rugged, less sturdy fighter at 140.
A guy who, of course, was a titleist originally at 130
Work
pounds.
out there. Work out. Let him go.
Ran
Let
into
him go.
Tank Davis after he won the title in 2015, runs into Tank in 2017.
Right
That went south.
Right on the line.
Then went to 135 where he defeats Beltran to win the WBO belt. But at 140 pounds, things have looked a little different against the upper level competition.
And you'll know that Barboza's making his move when you see him moving less and standing there longer.
And he has been in against the top competition, whether it's Zepeda or Jose Ramirez.
He killing Pedraza. My goodness.
Sharpshooting,
Every
accurate
single range test tonight.
This is a combination of the age of Pedraza and the skill set, the wit, and the ability of Barboza.
His timing seemed a bit off too. His timing, his punch is not as sharp for Pedraza.
But when the age starts to show and the odometer starts to click higher, you see the shots you want, you just can't let them go.
And to your point, Dre, about what Pedraza's trying to do, he's trying to mentally drain Barboza. That's what he's trying to do, mentally drain him with the pressure. Constantly putting pressure on him, taking his best punches, and trying to dish his own out there.
He's thrown nearly 100 more punches. We'll show you the punch stats when we come back. Start of round number 5, and you will see, and we'll try to get you the shot, noticeable swelling around the eyes of Jose Pedraza as Arnold Barboza has been accurate. He has been sharp as you look at the punches landed per round, a 90-40 advantage coming off back-to-back rounds in which he landed 28 punches apiece.
Barboza right now is up 4-0 on my scorecard.
No doubt.
Right on the line now.
What Pedraza, he's going to need a knockout to win this fight, or produce some sort of knockdowns to get back in this fight.
I've been hard on the referees tonight. I got to give a shout out to Wes Melton because he is officiating this fight and reffing this fight just the way you want him to. He's saying only what he has to say. He's giving warnings, but he's not overbearing, and he's not getting in the way of the action.
Yeah, it makes a cleaner fight. Four-punch combination again from Barboza. Pedraza inching forward, looking for hope.
You got to know that Pedraza's going to have these runs where he's going to bite down on the gum shield and he's going to try to press forward.
He's been pressing forward since round 1, Dre. He's trying to break him mentally and physically at the same time.
Effective though. Now you see him getting close and actually landing some shots.
Swelling's more significant under the left eye of Pedraza. There's a left hand from the former champion.
And this is where Barboza, who says he's ready for the upper echelon in the division, has to earn his money. He can't allow the older fighter to press his way in and start to put his imprint on this fight.
You're seeing him slow down just a bit, right? His punches are not as sharp as they were in the last round. Barboza.
Because the elite, they rise when the veteran tries to step up. And you want to look for that next gear from Barboza.
And you know for a doubt that Pedraza, he senses it. That's the reason why he's pouring on more pressure.
Comes sweeping with the left hand again. Continues to press. Incremental movements forward. There's the left hand again, but Barboza was just able to get underneath it.
Back up. You got to keep him up, okay?
In these moments, Barboza can't allow Pedraza to get in these types of rhythms.
Keep him up.
He got to keep shutting him down because all he needs is a little success to get himself going in this fight.
Highly effective round thus far from Pedraza by the handful of shots that have landed. And to Tim's point, the physical pressure that he's putting on Barboza.
By far the best round of the fight for Pedraza as he has hit double digit in power punches connected for the first time tonight. Steady work with that back power hand, southpaw hand, and then a combination caps the end of the 5th round as we reach the halfway mark here. You can see blood coming from his nose. You can also see that swelling that we detailed. But let's go back and look at the first half of this fight. Early on, Barboza for 4 rounds. Last round, Pedraza.
All day. I mean, Barboza was boxing beautifully off the back foot, taking advantage of Pedraza coming forward, taking advantage of his aggression, you know, catching him with jabs, right hands, everything. I mean, he had a hard time missing, timing him perfectly, timing his bouncing and his rhythm, looping shots like that. And then in that last round, I see a little change of the tide, a little momentum shift go into Pedraza's favor. I think the pressure's starting to get to Barboza, and it's up to Barboza to maintain focus, technique, and he needs to show his will tonight and fight back to be able to get a second win.
Second out. Let's go.
Stitch Duran's working on those eyes. See the end swell on there. And now round number 6.
Man, Pedraza is up on his toe. He's fueled. He senses something.
He should be encouraged coming off.
He definitely is.
Last round.
Got to respect the old wily veterans who physically can't keep the pace that they want to keep in a fight like they used to, but he keeps trying to find a way to get to the younger, faster fighter, and he did that in round 5.
And Bernardo, what about the other side with Arnold Sr. and his son?
I asked Senior about adjusting to the southpaw stance after the success that Pedraza had. He said, look, it starts with establishing the outside foot. Once we can do that, then we can, close his escape routes, and we have to establish our straight right hand.
And right now that is not being established as you watch that lead left foot. As you see right there is a good example as Pedraza's right foot was able to get to the outside and channel that left hand right down the middle.
Oh, nice return fire right there for Barboza, catching Pedraza on the way out with his right hand. But yes, the feet positioning is important. Southpaw versus orthodox.
Good straight shot to the body from Pedraza, and a veteran move when Barboza dropped his head to press down on him until the referee came and made the ref do his job. But he drained Barboza with that small move. A little bit that goes a long way.
And also maintaining control of him.
Barboza circling, stopping, and popping, and able to score.
That's a beautiful 2-1 combination from Barboza against the southpaw. You usually see the southpaw use that combination, but an orthodox fighter can use it as well.
It's effective against the southpaw.
Yes,
right hand lead, right?
Right hand lead. Get him to look at the right hand and come around with the jab. And the jab hand, you see, can go in any direction. Look at, beautiful combination right there.
Pedraza catching Barboza as he tried to sneak out the back door. The craftiness, the switch hitting from Pedraza was the biggest concern for Kent Barboza. It wasn't power, it wasn't any one punch, it was he's crafty, he has a lot of tools in his toolbox, and we have to be alert at all times.
And he's resilient. If he's been pressing forward since the second round or the first round, he's been pressing forward.
Shoulders in there, okay?
And he hasn't let up yet. Ooh, nice shot right there. Good body shot.
Swelling around that left eye of Pedraza. Right hand to the body from Barboza moments ago. Landed 41 body shots at this point. Number 7 scheduled for 10. Joe, Tim, and Dre ringside with you as we work our way towards our World Championship fight with the always entertaining Emmanuel Navarrete looking for history as he faces the upset-seeking Liam Wilson. Here we have Arnold Barboza trying to stay undefeated. He has a 125-72 advantage in punches landed against the 2-division world champion Jose Pedraza, who's in the autumn of his career, but still capable, but he's off balance that time as Barboza lands the punch early here in round number 7. And now can Barboza take advantage? Remember, he said, I really want to make a statement.
Right on the line now, right on the line.
you know that Pedraza's in tremendous shape. How quickly he recovered from that shot from Barboza.
But Barboza's missing an opportunity. Pedraza wasn't out on his feet, but he was hurt.
He was definitely buzzed.
And he's allowing a veteran to clear his head and reset.
And that's what the veteran has done, Dre. Remember, Pedraza was set to go up against Teofimo Lopez in the main event on Heisman night. And then had a bout with the flu, had a withdrawal. Sandor Martin stepped into that bout against Lopez and fought beautifully. Many of the ringside observers think he actually deserved to win that night. And now here's Pedraza in against the undefeated Barboza.
The fight that I want to see, if Barboza wins this fight, I want to see Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza. That's the fight that I want to see.
Well, that's the fight that Barboza thought he was going to have lined up for a very long time. He waited on it. He thought he could score it. He said it was extremely frustrating when it never materialized. And when Pedraza withdrew, there were many who thought he would turn to Barboza. Instead, he went with Sandor Martin, which stylistically ended up being a huge challenge for him.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Martin is definitely underrated.
I don't think Barboza has to move the way that he did early in the fight. I think he needs to stay close to Pedraza and smother him at times, try to bully him, rip to the body, and make him work inside, and then go mid-range, where he's not all the way out, he's not all the way in, but he's the aggressor, and he starts to really put pressure on those old legs and tries to run up that odometer a little bit more. Right now, he's allowing Pedraza to stay in this comfort zone.
Get off his head there. You can't push his head down.
He's a vet. He'll find a way.
Been a couple decent right hands that have landed here from Barboza in the 7th round.
Instead of moving left and right, just changing the angle slightly and just firing from there. Bing, bing. Catching Pedraza on the way in.
Round 8, in the beginning of the 7th round, Barboza had that eye-opening 2-punch combination. Again, the 2-1 combo, Jimmy. And that was part of the 13 landed power punches of the 34 that he threw. Barboza has a 142 to 82 connect advantage as we begin round number 8. As he tries to stay unbeaten, he tries to stay in contention for a big headline-making fight, whether it's a big name against Teofimo Lopez or a title shot. A reminder that we have a world championship fight coming up in moments, and it includes this man right here, Liam Wilson. He's a 26-year-old from just outside of Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. He is extremely confident, and he has reason to be with everything he's been dealing with recently. He moved to Washington, D.C. to train with the veteran Barry Hunter. And this now his first world title opportunity. He possesses a very big left hook. What he doesn't possess is experience. And he's going to be going up against a well-experienced veteran in the 2-division world champion, Emmanuel Navarrete. Navarrete-Wilson coming up in just a moment.
You ready? Okay, let's go.
They re-engage off the warning again.
To Pedraza, you got to let your hands go. He shook his hand in the last round as if something was wrong. I know this sounds harsh. There's no time for a hand injury. He needs to figure it out now. He can worry about the hand tomorrow. For Barboza, he's got to find that gear. You can't say you want the big fights in the upper echelon fighters in a title shot and you show that you have one gear. It's a strong gear, but where's the other gear? Now's the time to show it.
Right on the line, right on the line.
He had a great camp in Big Bear. Conditioning shouldn't be a problem. He had great sparring. He should be as sharp as he needs to be. It's time for him to get off and try to close this show. And Pedraza is as stubborn as a wily older fighter can be. He just won't go away. I respect it.
That's why he's been relevant. Still today after 4 losses.
That's why he's so respected.
And he fights because he fights the best.
He does.
Trust me, 1 loss don't define you, babe.
Let him go. Let him go.
Ooh, nice. Nice left hand right there from Pedraza. Oh, another one.
I think the gear that Barboza is missing is not physical, it's mental. You don't have to try to be perfect with every punch. Sometimes you got to just let your God-given gifts and ability go, the hand speed, the power, and let your shots go, man, and do it with attitude.
Barboza, his technique is breaking down. Those bad habits of carrying his hand low. Now you're seeing Pedraza sneak in those shots. Barboza's not reacting as well as he was early on in the fight.
Pushes him away after Pedraza had some success on the inside.
Good shot from Jose Pedraza.
Counters that right hand and comes out strong at the ends here. Coming into the corner of Jose Pedraza as Luis Espada, his stepfather, told him, you have to let your hands go now. It is time to throw hard punches. Push, work, throw. 6 minutes, let it go. Round 9. After he had a successful final minute in that 8th round. On my scorecard, I have him clearly behind, giving him 2 rounds so far, compared to the steady work rate of Barboza, who is a 153 to 97 connect advantage. But you can see these moments from Pedraza.
Yeah, but this is the moment in the situation that you always see Pedraza in. You know, trying to come from behind to win the fight. He needs a knockout to win this fight on my scorecard.
Same on mine. And you could hear the urgency from his corner. Now the work rate picks up, Dre, from Barboza.
Right, that's where he needs to be. No need to run and move around. Stand right there, be protected. You're going to get hit, but get off. Allow Pedraza to open up so you can get yours. And the same can be said for Pedraza. He needs Barboza still to give himself the best shot to land a good shot.
And being close to your opponent, I mean, you can buy some time and rest in there. There's little pockets where you can tie him up and take a little breather.
Three-punch combination from Barboza. Nice. Finished with the right hand.
Don't hold his head. Let his head go. Keep him up.
And to Dre's point, whatever Barboza has in the tank, he needs to unleash it right now. Because Pedraza, now you're seeing Pedraza starting to deflate a little bit.
Now, keep him up.
Now he's having to protect himself because all these punches is coming his way. That momentum is definitely shifting.
Sometimes it's about attitude. You fight how you feel. You feel like you're the baddest man in the division and you just haven't been recognized. Well, show me right now.
Mm-hmm.
And for Pedraza, you feel like you deserve to still be around. You need to show that right now. Sometimes boxing isn't about X's and O's. It's about a feel. Make me feel you. Let me feel how passionate you are about what you've told us pre-fight.
Keep him up now. Stop! Listen. That's the last warning. If you hit him low again, I'm going to take a point away. You understand? You okay? Okay, let's go.
Ooh. Straight left hand, Pedraza.
Nice.
Barboza connects on the inside.
Yep, he stood up and went straight back, and Pedraza took advantage.
Let go of his head.
Let's listen in as they have 1 round to go. It's been a good fight.
That's a better round, okay? No, I'll let you know. I'll take him in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen,
just get nice and low here. You can come up the middle, okay?
Arena. We go to the 10th and final round.
Hey, when he's right here stopping his left, he put the straight right and come up here, okay? All right, left right, we're going to chuck him up, keep him sleep. Deep breathe, okay? You want it? Let's go and get it, okay?
You've got to come out here throwing punches. This is your last round. Go get them. You've got to let your hands go. I want you to take a deep breath and just throw punches.
They're aware in that corner of Jose Pedraza, as you could hear the translation from Bernardo. Let's see if he goes after it, as Barboza's coming off of his high total in punches connected. In that last round, he landed 24 of 66. There are the total punches through 9 rounds, a 177 to 116 advantage for the undefeated fighter from California, Arnold Barboza. And he does let his hands go, does Pedraza.
Look at that experience, man.
Keep your head up. Watch your head in there. Watch your head.
See, these moments right here, you're fighting fatigue. You know, you don't feel, your body feels weary. Your lungs, you can breathe. You don't feel tired in that sense. You just feel fatigued during these moments. And you got to fight through that fatigue. And technique is extremely important at these moments.
I love these trench moments. These are the moments you train for. Yes, you train to box and do certain things depending on which fighter you are in the fight. But sometimes it boils down to a moment like this. And yes, we believe Barboza should be ahead comfortably, but these moments are what it's all about.
That's great. If this was a championship fight, you got 2 more rounds. 2 more rounds to go.
And that's what we're going to have next, is a championship fight with Navarrete and Wilson.
I think commissions all over the U.S. need to take this fight from Wes Melton and show this to their crew.
Done a nice job officiating it. And he's had to give out some warnings.
And he may be a little bit too generous tonight, but he's trying to stay out of the action, and nothing that he's warned Pedraza for or Barboza for has impeded on the way this fight has gone. It's called discretion.
Work out, let him go.
Great job from Milton. And good work from both fighters in this final round.
Don't pull the head, don't pull the head there.
Pedraza giving just as much as he's taking.
Ooh, another low blow.
There's a cut that opened up over the right eye of Pedraza.
He hasn't even acknowledged it.
Well, with 30 seconds to go in this stage of your career on the line, there's no need to. Just throw leather. And he does.
No skill needed for effort.
The crowd is rising up. They have appreciated what the veteran former champ and what the undefeated hopeful have given.
I respect it. I respect it.
From start to finish, just a solid, steady effort of fighting. Barboza and Pedraza, very well done. As blood streams down the face of the former 2-division champion. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the greatest of all times. Timmy, take us through what you saw between Barboza and Pedraza.
Well, early on, Barboza really using his quickness and allowing Pedraza to do some of the work for him. Getting overly aggressive, pressing forward, moving his head out at distance, and it was target practice for him. You know, but as this fight heated up, got to the midway point, you see that the pressure of Pedraza was getting to Barboza. There was times where you had Barboza having to really dig deep inside and not allow himself to go down or follow that current. Great fight for both men. Entertaining fight. I still want to see more of Pedraza moving forward, but no doubt about it.
That was will and
Barboza
experience that you saw from Jose Pedraza on the back end of this fight, and the same can be said for Arnold Barboza, but it's different when you see it come from a vet that we keep wondering, is tonight going to be the night where he shows that he no longer can compete? And tonight wasn't that night. He took some shots. He continued to press forward. Arnold Barboza showed himself well, and this was a good fight that finished extremely well. Respect to both guys.
Let's hear from the judges. Here's Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds here inside Desert Diamond Arena, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Tim Cheatham scores the bout 97-93. Lisa Giampa and Esther Lopez both have it 96-94. For your winner by unanimous decision, and still WBO Intercontinental Junior Welterweight Champion, Arnold Barboza Jr.
Arnold Barboza Jr., now 28-0, maintains his status as a top 10 junior welterweight in the world, and he's hoping big things come of it this year. Here's Bernardo.